Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Hasnan's Cricket World. Well, we saw another fantastic game of cricket today played between India and Sri Lanka at Colombo. India won the toss and decided to bat first, but today, as opposed to the last game against Pakistan, the batting looked a little shaky. Although they started off in a very impressive fashion, getting to very quick runs in the first few overs, 10 overs, but they were held back by the Sri Lankan spinners. And we should mention the brilliant, impressive spell of bowling from a young Dinit Villalage, who had bowled with a lot of control and kept the Sri Lankan players at bay. And we look at his tally, his wickets, his victims. Shubman Gill bowled beautifully. Then he got Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and then he came back in the last few and got another couple of wickets. He kept Indian batsmen at bay with his left arm spin precision, and he is one for the future for Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka must take good care of him. So India found batting a little bit tough out there against the Sri Lankan spinners, who kept it very good and kept the Indians under check with some very precise and impressive kind of bowling. For India, no batsman really got going today, and Ishan Kishan and Hardik and KL Rahul did have a little amount of partnership, but after the initial start of Rohit Sharma getting to his 50, but when he got out, there was not much stability in the Indian batting. Well, they did manage to get to 213 in the end, which could have been which was at best a par score. But as we have seen earlier, Sri Lankan Indian bowling was again very impressive at the start, with Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj doing an impressive job again, getting Sri Lanka in a spot of bother early on, with getting them at 49 for 4. And then it was another fine partnership between Charit Asalanka and Dhananjay Silva, who got together. But then the spinners took over for Sri Lanka, and Kuldeep Yadav was yet again in his elements, as he was last night against Pakistan. And he displayed another. He's a fine range again, as shown by Dinit Villalage. In the end, there was a lot of spin in this track, and Kuldeep Yadav took full advantage of it. And at one stage, it looked as if India would bundle out Sri Lanka very quickly, but then there came a very impressive partnership between Dhananjay Silva and Charit Villalage, who came together when Sri Lanka was struggling at 99 for 6, but they showed a lot of character, played beautiful cricket, and Villalage was looking like a very good fortune. He looked very solid out there, and looked to play out the good deliveries and hit the bad ones away. Dhananjay Silva kept him good company, and they were looking very impressive, and could have taken Sri Lanka to the victory. But Dhananjay Silva played a rather loose shot against Ravindra Jadeja, pretty much a shot which should not have been played, and Sri Lanka needed less than on the ball to win. But he played a rash shot, and then opened up the floodgates for India, where they came back strongly. The tailenders didn't last longer for the Sri Lankans. Mahesh Tikushana, Patidana and Rajita could not survive against the spin and guile of Kuldeep Yadav. While this was another impressive performance from India, yet again showing their all-round ability. Their batting didn't really click today, as it struggled a bit on this surface, which had a lot of spin. But their bowling, they was as usual top notch, with the fast bowlers doing an impressive job. Then the spinners took over. Well, Ravindra Jadeja today was also very impressive, but he was less fortunate, got just a couple of wickets, but he deserved more. But Kuldeep Yadav showed his skills once again. And this was a day, although you could say this day belonged to another youngster who, although finished on the losing side, but he has been a highlight. He was the highlight of the day's match, another find for the future. Lage. First, he took 5 wickets, and the 4 victims were not bad ones. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill, and he also took Hardik Pandya, and also another wicket, and KL Rahul as well. So he took 5 very impressive wickets, and then with the bat he showed a lot of character. Had he not lost partners, he would have got Sri Lanka home, but it was not to be. But it was not short of bravery from this young man. He's got a good future for Sri Lanka. Well, now we have the situation that India are almost through to the final, and while Pakistan and Sri Lanka would now have a straight shootout for them, both are on 2 points, and a match on Thursday would decide that who goes through. So now it's a straight shootout, unless and until Bangladesh stun India. India are almost through because the run rate is pretty good as well. So let's hope for a great game on Thursday between Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and we'll be back with more action. Bye for now.